Hello friends! You may remember this kit from a couple of weeks ago. This is the Warm Snow Township from VIP Cross Stitch, and unfortunately when I got it the canvas had been wet, and I just got back from my fabulous European vacation, and in the mail was the replacement canvas for this project. So I didn't really look at it. All right, so here is the replacement canvas, which they sent to me, and I got it fairly quickly. Like I said, I was on vacation, so I don't know exactly when I got it, but this is great. So everything looks really good on this canvas. Perfectly clear. This is exactly what I wanted to see on the first one. So I'm really happy with this replacement canvas. It is as clear as any canvas I've ever seen before. And I just wanted to remind you that I really loved this kit. This image is fantastic. It's got a lot of nice details in it. It has the French knots in the trees to make like little lights on the trees and stuff. And I thought, now that I have the replacement canvas, maybe we'll just do a quick little stitch with me. So let me get set up for that. All right, so I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. I started this stitch along and I did not hit record. So I sat here and talked to myself for about half an hour. Maybe not that long, but I've got close to a whole thread in, which is usually about 20 minutes. Anyway, so here we are. So let me see if I don't know, I can't remember what I said in the intro and what I already told you guys. So if I am repeating myself, I'm sorry. But so this is the image here, and I'm just working on the bottom corner. I do like to start in a corner. I thought about starting in the bridge because the bridge is so pretty. But then when I picked out the color that I wanted to work on, it was this really ugly brown. And I thought, oh, I don't want to start out very first thread in being like an ugly dingy brown color. So instead I decided to start on this snowy path. So this is a gray, and then these blue hatch marks, which I'll work on next, are I think the lightest color. So if you remember the unboxing where I had the original canvas that had gotten wet, it was just wet enough. Like I think it just got humidly damp. Like I don't think it got wet because it was the bottom half that was damaged. The top half was perfectly fine, and it was dry to the touch, so it couldn't have gotten very wet, or else it wouldn't have been able to dry inside that package. And everything else was fine. The canvas didn't smell bad or anything like that, so I was able to just wash that piece of fabric, and now I have this new Aida with the pattern. I have the whole kit, plus I have an extra piece of Aida. So if anything, I ended up ahead of the game by getting that kit that way. So I had said that the jury was kind of out on whether I would recommend the kit based on how VIP handled like the process for the damaged kit, and they were great. They just sent this new canvas, and so I definitely recommend it. And the project itself is really nice. Sorry, I'm just gotta change threads here. The image is beautiful. What's not to love? So as I said, I recently got back from my vacation, and I won't talk too much about it unless you guys want to hear more. Just let me know if you want to hear more about the places that we visited. But the one thing I did want to tell you about was riding the donkeys in Santorini. Okay, let me just pick out the thread here. So this is number 27. So I'm not sure. Again, I can't remember what I told you already, but the vacation that we were on was a European cruise, and we visited a couple of the Greek islands, a few places in Italy. We visited Cannes, France, and Barcelona, and we started out in Athens. So that's the nice thing about cruises, is you get to see like a whole bunch of places instead of just having, oh, we spent a week in Athens, which is great too, but you really get to see like a variety of places, and then you know where you might potentially want to spend more time in a future visit. But one of the islands that we went to was Santorini, and you've probably seen images of this island before. I'll put them on screen. So this is the place with the white buildings and the blue roofs. Okay, the truth is the blue roofs are down a little bit, and you kind of have to take like a taxi if you want to get to that area from the cruise port. So we could have gone there, but everything is still white and really cool looking in the other area of the island, but they just don't have those blue roofs. So you would think, looking at the pictures, that those blue roofs are everywhere, but they're not. There's like 3 of them, and that's where every single human who's ever gone to Santorini takes a picture, except for us. Anyways, when you get to the island on a cruise boat, you have to tender in, and tendering when you're on a cruise means that they don't pull up at a dock and you walk off the boat. They anchor out in the ocean, and then they either drop some of the lifeboats and they use those as shuttles to get into the island, or people from the island who have boats, like they're big boats that carry like 100 people, they'll pull up to the boat and you just get on those boats. So anyways, that doesn't matter. But so it's a tender port, and when you come into the dock, there you have to get up to the top of the island where all the buildings are. So there's a couple of ways you can get up there. You can take the tram or cable car or whatever you call that thing. It's kind of like a ski lift thing. So you can take that. There's a huge lineup to take that. Or they have the old kind of donkey path going up the island. And the donkey path is like cobblestone, sort of like stairs. And you can either walk up that or you can ride a donkey. So we decided to walk up, but then on the way down, we decided to take the donkeys. And I thought, like, I've never been on a donkey before, and I kind of want to ride a donkey. So I convinced my husband. The other thing is, you may remember, he just had a knee replacement surgery just a couple of months ago, and going upstairs is not as hard on your knees as going down. When you're going down, you're really keeping a lot of pressure in an awkward position on that back leg as you lower down. So if you've ever noticed, going down the stairs can be a little bit more challenging than going up with certain... Anyways, doesn't matter. I'm just talking to hear my own voice. But for a couple of reasons, we decided to take the donkeys down. So it was 10 euros. It would have been 6 to take the cable car. Neither Al nor I are big fans of those tram things where you're hanging in the air. I am very afraid of heights, and dangling in the air, attached by just, almost nothing, I'm just not really interested in that. But after taking the donkeys, I'm not sure which would have been more terrifying, because the donkeys were terrifying. So you have no control over those donkeys. They are doing whatever they feel like doing, and the only thing that's keeping them going in one direction down the hill with you on them is the fact that your donkey is tied to the donkey in front of it, and that's tied to the one in front of it. And eventually somewhere near the front of the line is the actual Greek guy who owns the donkey and knows how to lead them. So you're really at the mercy of this stupid donkey. And you only have like this little kind of saddle horn thing to hang on to. And it's very, like, I don't know. I felt like my saddle wasn't even really on, and I was really like holding on for dear life, and you're kind of leaning back, and it's not relaxing in any way. And the donkeys, they have a pretty good sense of like how wide they are and how close they can get to the wall. But like I said, they're really stupid, and they don't have any sense of how wide they are and how close they can get to the wall with your legs on either side. So my stupid donkey kept on trying to run me into the wall, and my stupid donkey ran me into a woman. So my leg is hanging off the side, and he walked right past her, and my leg pushed her along, and I'm like, oh, watch out, watch out, watch out. And luckily, like, she didn't fall over or anything. She was surrounded by her friends, and they, you know, they kept her upright or whatever, but I'm sure it was not comfortable. I hope she didn't have like a bruise or anything, because I basically ran into her and pushed her along. Like, that donkey is hundreds of pounds, and it's just going to keep on going. Anyway, it was crazy. And I'm just yelling at them like, I'm sorry, I have no control over the donkey. And they were kind of laughing, but I bet they didn't laugh about it for very long. But we were gone after that. So anyways, donkey ride, great. It was great. I'm glad I did it. It was a real life experience. Would I do it again? No. I may ride a donkey on a flat surface someday if needed, but riding it basically down the side of a cliff, yeah, not as interested in that. It was really, really terrifying. So that was one of the highlights of the vacation. So I had a few videos released while I was away, and so I wanted to keep the channel going, and I also didn't want to kind of announce to the entire internet the dates that we would be away. So I think that worked really well. It was nice knowing that things were up and running while I was gone. And so now I'm back, and I'm not sure if I mentioned I might sound a little sick. I did get that virus on the plane on the way home. I sat next to this, like across the aisle from this kid who I could see he was sick. I was so annoyed that he was sitting in the aisle instead of sitting by the window seat, you know, hidden away. But, you know, it was a long flight from Paris to Toronto, and I definitely did not want to wear a mask for the whole flight. He obviously didn't either, and I was hoping that he just had like a little cold, but nope. Okay, and look what I did here. I managed to do this second row with my stitches backwards. I put the top leg on in the wrong direction. That is something that I tend to do from time to time. I don't know, is that, like, do you do that? Am I just really dumb? Like, what? Why would I change the way I do it for one row? And the whole row I did that way and that way. and got done before realizing that it went the wrong way. Truly amazing. I was actually hoping to get my COVID shot and my flu shot, and now there's an RSV shot. And I wanted to get them before I left on vacation. Hindsight being 2020, I wish I had, but I didn't. And so now I guess if you already have the disease, you don't need to get the shot for it. But I'm gonna have to check and see if the RSV shot is available to everyone, people my age, or if that's just like a seniors thing. You know how they always roll them out first to seniors. But I had last year at Christmas time, right the week before Christmas, I had RSV, and it was horrible. Like, I had a not high, but significant fever for almost a whole week. It was insane. I was so sick. And the year before that, no, that must have been COVID, and then the year before that was the RSV. Well, one way or the other. Both years, right at Christmas time, I got sick. And it's the people at work make fun of me because both years I missed our office Christmas party and gift exchange. And they make fun of me and say, oh, you're trying to avoid it. And I'm not. But that's 2 years in a row I missed it because I was so sick. So this time I'm not as sick as I was those times. Still not, it's still no walk in the park, but yeah, oh man, memories of that. It's almost traumatic remembering those two illnesses. And then last year at Christmas, it was before Christmas actually, in early December, we went to Mexico, and I came home with a freaking parasite. And then I eventually got that figured out with the doctor and got the pills, and after that cleared up is when I got COVID or RSV. I can't remember which it was. It was one of those two anyways. No, it was COVID, that's right. So December was a really bad month last year. Really bad. And then January, oh man, I had a stretch of like 4 months where I had all these like horrible illnesses, and also those things that like those health concerns that are like a little bit more long term that kind of sprouted up, and it was very awful. But then I was fine after that. So since summer, I have been extremely healthy until this. But stuff comes in waves like that, eh? All right, I'm just going to finish off this row, and yeah, I apologize if I said things a bunch of times. Like I said, once you record one time, it's really hard to record something a second time. If you are a fellow YouTuber, then hi, and you know what I mean. Like, it's weird when I say a story a second time. I almost feel like instead of me telling you a story, I'm trying to like repeat what I already said, and you almost feel like you're acting. It's so strange. So Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Thank you so much for joining my stitch with me. I hope you had a good time, even if it was a little bit disjointed. And again, I totally recommend this canvas if you like the image. Gretel, please stop eating bags. So there it is, and I'm sure you'll see more of this pattern to come. All right, have a really great day, everyone. Bye.